Alrighty guys, we are going to do a Tinkercad lesson today. When you guys start, let's click learn at the top. If you don't have the link, you can click learn at the top and scroll down to find the chess pawn lesson. That's what we're going to work on. When we click start, there will be instructions on the left side of your screen. In this lesson, we will create a chess pawn. This is in preparation for our first individual project. Maybe we'll do a little bit more practice, but I want to design a chess set, which will be like this, but instead of following instructions, you'll do it on your own. Next step, we need to start with a cylinder. Step 1, drag a cylinder onto the work plane. Drag it on. And I'm going to line it up as best I can, but things do not have to be perfectly lined up because we will align everything at the end. Scale it smaller to a height of 3 millimeters. 3. Next step, drag a short work plane onto the cylinder. I'm going to click W, shortcut W. I'm pressing W on my keyboard, and I'm clicking on top of the cylinder, and now the ground is on top of the cylinder. Whenever I drag anything in, it'll be placed at the height of the top of that cylinder now. Drag a cone shape to the top of that cylinder. I'm actually going to put everything really off center just so you guys can see the alignment step at the end really effectively. Scale the shape shorter to 11, and also just so you guys see that the exact alignment doesn't super matter. So I'm clicking scale the thing shorter, I'm clicking the height, I'm setting it to 11, I'm pressing enter. I'm moving on. Drag a sphere into the work plane. Sphere gets dragged in. Next step, scale the sphere to a diameter of 18. So that's these two. I could do 18 by 18. And then scale it to a height of 5. Height of, why is it not saving? 5, enter. Move it to the target area in orange. Next step, drag a cone shape into the work plane. Scale it to a diameter of 14. I click this. That's the length and the width become 14. And a height of 28. 28. Next step, move the cone to the center of this thing. Lift the cone 3 up. That's important. So we'll grab this little arrow to lift, and we'll lift it up 3. Next step, drag another cone onto the orange work plane. Scale it to a diameter of 12. So we'll do 12 by 12. Scale it to a height of 19. I messed something up. Scale it to a height of 19. Next step, rotate the cone 180 degrees. So I'm going to click the rotation. I'm going to type in 180 degrees. Move it to the target area in orange. That area is higher up. Let's lift it up. Drag a work plane to the top of that cone. W, click. Drag a sphere onto that work plane. Scale the sphere to 8 by 8 by 8. I can click any of these squares, and if I hold shift, I could scale all the dimensions at once. So since they're all the same, I'll just scale them all to 8 at the same time by holding shift and clicking on the scaling tools. And I'll place that where it's supposed to be roughly. And let's say everything is not exactly right. But the next step is we're going to select all the shapes. So I can click and drag to select everything. And I can click the align button in the menu. So right here, there's an align tool. I'm going to click align. And I'm going to align it in the bottom centers. And that's going to be my perfectly aligned pawn. It's still slightly off from where the demonstration is, but I can just move it. That is my perfectly aligned pawn. I can select it all. And I can color it white. So now it's the right color. And I can select it all, and this next step is group the shapes, and I can click the group button to group it all together. And that is my pawn. That is the lesson for today. This video is very short, but you have all day to do this. If you have free time, you are more than welcome to start taking pieces and start trying to design other pieces like a rook or something. So for example, if I wanted to, be really lazy, I'm just going to try to make a rook really quickly. So let's get rid of this tip at the top. So this is bonus. If you want, you can now continue with your assignment. I'm just going to group this hole with that little pointy thing so that it gets rid of that pointy thing. And I need to make a rook. Rooks have a bigger thing on, actually the whole thing is bigger on a rook usually. So let me select this whole thing that's left and group it and scale it up to be bigger. piece on top. I'll align them in the center. And I will put, rooks have this little pattern here where it's like, that's gonna be good enough for now. And then if I duplicate this, and then I move the next one to where I think it should go. And then I duplicate that. Oh, it didn't work. Move. Okay, wait, hold on. If I duplicate this, then I rotate it 45 degrees. Then I move it to where I want it. And then I spam duplicate. That should do the whole ring. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Actually, I can make it perfect if I group them all together. And then I can just wiggle them around a little bit. And this is a group, this is a group, this is a group. So these three pieces, I can just align these with my alignment tool. And now I have what could be my rook. I could scale this up a little bit. Okay, looks pretty good. I will remove the work plane. I'll group that all together. And I'm making white pieces, I guess, so I'll make it white again. And I'll lift it back up to 0. It might be a little bit bigger than my pawn. I'll make my pawn, I'll shrink it down a little bit to match with my pawn. But that's the idea. I want you guys to make a whole chess set. They should all be roughly the same sizes. You could use the same base. That's going to be due on Friday. The horse is going to be the hardest one because the horse is kind of maybe somewhat, you know, complicated compared to the rest of them. The rest of them are very geometric, but you could design it however you want. You can make a horse that has, you know, a totally different look than a classic horse. But that's it. Good luck. Have fun. Email me if you need any help. Reach out to me in class if we're in class and you need any help. You're always free to make this up at home if you are absent, and this video guide is there for you if you are absent. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.